Good Kid.
Good Kid. Um,
I don't have a lot written for this one, but I do. The bass guitar in this song is awesome. I actually might go learn how to play this. Um,
I
the atmosphere
I
is great.
I think the atmosphere is good. This is one of my least favorite, not because it's bad, just because I have some problems with the way it sounds. It feels so simple.
Like really, because my last note for the song is like the grittiness of the lyrics. I think paints a really good picture against like the
Oh,
backdrop.
I love the lyrics on this song. I just don't think the beat to me is that interesting to listen to. Like there's some moments where it's all right, but it never like becomes good.
Oh,
Um,
see now, I'm beginning to think you and me we like opposite things in beats because usually when I like something, like if I like something, you don't like it, and if you like something, I dislike it. Like for the backbeat song, you like that beat, I didn't, and for this one, I like this beat and you don't.
yeah, maybe we'll see going forward. It's this is for me. This was like it was so simple for me. I've given this album tons of repeated listens, and it's not as interesting to me as other beats a lot of the time. It's sort of slow, uh, and there are definitely some good moments where it like paints a picture of the city itself, and it's a great interlude to the next song.
We get a title drop in this song too.
Good Kid.
Mad City.
Yeah. Um, and I love this story. I think this is a great song because there are two stories on this track. There's one of him like returning from Bible study and like having like gang guys and like people from his community, black people from his community, like beating up on him because he's not like them, right? Like like bullying and like sort of like
Peer
it's almost
pressure.
like a yeah, peer pressure, you know, like paints a negative picture of his like some people in his community and like police. Like
Yeah, the
uh
cop line in this song is like really powerful. Like, I was like, oh shit.
step on my neck as hard as your bulletproof vest.
Yeah, I
Uh
was like, oh snap, and because it's so like against the beat, because the beat's not hard. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's so good. Like I really enjoyed the contrasting points.
Yeah. And I think the contrasting points don't just end there. It contrasts because there's the police and then there's the people. They have very similar lines. Let me let me look at the lyrics because I think this is one where quoting works. Uh,
Yeah, you actually quoted the cop line perfectly. So,
um,
uh,
uh,
while you're looking that up, I will say I think Kendrick does something not a lot of rappers do, specifically in this song. He brings up that the the people in his community, the people he probably were friends with, not all of them were good people.
yeah,
Like a lot of rappers don't do that in general.
because they just see them as friends, right? They put it so simply, like, "Yo, he's my bud," but they don't ever bring out how that fucking person might have like was an asshole or like killed people,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
I wouldn't say. I think that adds to Kendrick's realism on the
yeah,
tracks, and I think that's what paints. Like I could believe everything in these lyrics happened. You know what I mean? Because it
yeah.
feels how someone would actually be. Most people aren't, I wouldn't say vindictive like I am, but they remember when people did shitty things to them. You'll remember that more than the nice things.
They take like guiltless revenge, like I feel like that's one of the big things is like that's the wrath, right? That's just like taking revenge without thought, without like
I wouldn't say
guilt.
without thought.
Well, there's thought. Like the thought is simple though. Like the thought is just like, this fucking kid, why is he dressed like this? I'm gonna beat the shit out of him.
Oh,
Like
see, that's everywhere. And I think that's
yeah,
something a lot of people don't realize. That happens everywhere. That's human
yeah.
nature. If everyone in a group is not wearing a hat and one person is, guess who's most likely to get bullied? It's the motherfucker in the hat.
You, you know that's so true. but I think it's like it has so much more possibility for like terrible shit in the ghetto, right? Like like because like you can get some bad habits if you're just in a suburb from like being bullied and things like that, and like continuing the cycle. But um, like here, he lives in a like society where the people who are bullying him don't aren't just bullies; they are murderers and they sell drugs and they
Yeah, there's a lot
you
more
know
on the line.
yeah. There's always life on the line.
Oh, I know. I was just giving that comparison to show why it's so believable,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
that happens everywhere. Now it's more drastic in certain areas, but if you grow up around that stuff, white or black, it's scary.
And
Also,
there's this
kids
sort.
are vindictive little monsters. Children are the worst. Children are actually the most like not prejudice. That's not the right term, but they're the ones who signal out the difference. They are the first ones to do it. Like as you
I
grow
think
up, you can change that, but some people
yeah,
never do.
I think they have the greatest possibility for being an asshole. Like
And I don't. And the sad thing is, I don't think they mean it, but it's the kids I want to be like, so I'm gonna pick on somebody else. And when they're like 4 or 5, it's cute. It's when they're like 16 to 17, it's like, ooh, this is gonna be a problem if you don't change,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And so also here, let's see, wait. Do they explain the Mad City the name? I don't think they do, not yet.
That's
Uh,
the next track, I think.
yeah. So there's a parallel here I was saying earlier. Uh on the almost the third, let's see. Uh, the on either line, one's about like the people in his own community like oppressing each other, like hurting each other, not allowing them to be different, and then one about the cops like basically doing the same thing. It happens on both sides. Uh, Step on my neck. This is the line from the community. Step on my neck and get blood on your Nike checks. You know, they're both doing the same thing. They're both oppressing the good kid who lives within the mad city. Um, and and there's this sort of um, eventuality about it, like how later in life everybody will like especially people in like a ghetto community realize later in life what they've done. Like they look back at when they were teenagers and don't think of those always as the good days, and we're like we were fucked up back then. Like
Ah, some of them do.
yeah, I'm sure some of them do, but I feel like a lot of them chill down. Like,
Oh,
um,
I actually don't have enough information to say on that, so I won't.
yeah.
But
Well, it's sort of like Ice Cube's character in Boys in the Hood. He sort of like he sort of like looks at everybody from like a perspective of someone like he went to jail like as like a teenager for like fucked up shit he's done, and he's only like 20, but he feels like he's like 30 or 40, like looking at like everybody with like weathered eyes, and there's a certain feeling that eventually a lot of people will be like that, especially in the hood. They'll realize.
I don't know,
Uh,
man. Like, do you also hear stories about people going inside and actually getting worse once they get out because they get connections, right?
yeah, yeah, um,
That's
yeah,
just like this is way more in depth than we usually go into, but it's fun.
yeah. All right. I think we should move on. The song perfectly segues into the next one.
Mad
Um,
City.
yes, this is. I think this is my favorite song on the album.
It's not mine, but uh, it's up there. I really enjoyed it. I it's featuring Mr. Eight, I do believe.
MC8,
Oh,
not
MC.
Mister.
I don't know why I
Miss.
said I just turned him into an old white guy. My bad.
Yeah. MC8. I love the beat on this song.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The intro of this song screams West Coast 90s hip hop.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It's very much sounds it feels darker, really,
Yeah.
like really than like any of that 90s stuff
Well,
though.
I mean specifically the intro, because once the verse kicks in, we go back to that experimental sound Kendrick's doing, which is
Yeah.
very interesting. The flow is excellent. Now,
Uh,
I will say there's a switch up in the song. Like it
yeah,
changes and it threw me off guard in a good way. I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
cool."
Because I feel like that that little melody they're doing dun 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 it's sort of like I feel like it would have grown repetitive if the entire 5 minutes was that.
Oh, this is the song. That Tony bass in this song
Yeah,
is the dark wave. It's that like it's this dark atmosphere underneath the entire track and it's
yeah,
so good. It, man, you know how you were talking about the thing where he's a teenager? In
yeah,
he does this. He does a teenager voice in this song, where it's almost like his voice is cracking.
yeah. It's
Also, I was
it
wrong. I was wrong. The dark wave is not in this song. It's in the next song. My notes got mixed up, but this one he puts on a voice like a teenager, and his voice cracks, and it's like, it's cool. I liked it
it,
in this song.
it surprised me my first time, but like for further listenings, it's so great. Like it's such a distinct voice, and I love what he raps about. Like at first, I was confused about what the song was about. I remember when I first listened, like I thought he was saying this was a song about drugs and cocaine, you know. But it's not really. It's one of the darkest songs I think I've ever heard in rap. Like realistically, like realistic darkness, you know. Um, uh, let me let me look at some lyrics. It's
Ain't
just so.
ain't no peace treaty, just pieces. BG's up to pre-approved bodies on top of bodies, IVs on top of IVs. Obviously, the corners between the sheets like the ice sleeves.
Yeah. Bodies on top of bodies shouldn't be the way you're describing your neighborhood. Um,
No, it
uh,
shouldn't.
yeah. Um,
I love the bridge in this song.
uh, oh, 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 you're talking about the what would happen? Wait, what are you talking about?
If Pirates and Crips all got along, they'd probably gun me down by the end of
Yeah,
this
end
song.
of the song. Yeah, it's so good. It seemed like the whole city go against me in the street every time I hear it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I love it. Uh, it has this sort of like it has an elementary vibe, you know, of like, and I think that's the reason for the dun dun dun, like the sort of melody here. It's very basic, but that's the point, right? Like,
It, and it's really interesting as a feature that MC8 is coming in not it's almost not as a feature but as a combative person in this. He's the person that Kendrick's rapping about. He is that straight up G. He is the one
yeah,
he's one of the people who wants to see him dead.
yeah, like a remorseless, like I think I don't think he's quite, I don't think Kendrick is combating him. I definitely not, but
No. I mean like combative. He's
he's
the other
a
point of view.
perspective.
Yes, he's the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
perspective. Exactly. You don't
yeah.
hear that a lot in a feature.
Yeah, and even he doesn't fucking what am I trying to say?
Glorify?
Glorify what he's trying to do either. He considers warrior a harsh term, you know, like I don't think he considers his like friends warriors. Like they have to survive and they're just doing what they need to,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But and I kind of really like the no sugarcoating. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Um, One of the most haunting lines I think on the album. Let me find it.
I thought there was one. I really wish I would have wrote it down.
Because Sonance was aside. The driver's seat, the seat, the first one to get killed. Cena, light-skinned N-word with his brains blown out at the same burger stand where they bleep out this like the name, hanged out. Now they're not a tape recorder saying that he did it, but ever since that day, I was looking at him different. That
Yes.
was back when I was 9. Joey packed the 9. Like he was 9 years old, and like someone like a friend, like someone he knew, like he knew he had pretty much killed them, right? Like that's such a disturbing thing. I don't know, just the way he delivers it.
And the implication is the reason they killed him is because he wasn't black enough.
Yeah, light skinned. He was a light skinned black person. Like it's just like Jesus.
It's dark.
Yeah. Like I think bleeping just makes it that much darker. It's funny because like bleeping, like the
Could be annoying.
intent, yeah, bleeping could be annoying, but the intent of bleeping used to be in old school hip hop to just cover up swear words, right? And these people perceived swear words as something
Well,
terrible,
they still
right?
do
Like
that on like modern, on mainstream radio.
I don't think they bleep; they just cut out the word out.
Well,
Like they, it's
it
gone.
depends. I think it depends on what the artist wants nowadays, more so to tell you the truth. Because I know Kid Rock still does radio edit, these classic.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's kind of like how they want to do it. But but I think they definitely shied away from bleeping. Like not a lot of people do bleeping anymore.
The only other song I can think of that used bleeping in such an effective way is a Marilyn Manson song. There's a part in the song where he starts saying "shoot up the malls, shoot up the school," and right when he's gonna say it, that entire section of the verse gets bleeped out, and it's like,
Shit.
and it's such a powerful statement on one, censorship, two,
Well,
on like that really isn't. Manson knows he shouldn't be saying that, but that's the point of the verse. In
yeah,
context, it makes sense, but out of context, it doesn't. And here they use it as almost like a redacted thing in a lawyer form, right? Like they took this
yeah,
person's name out so he's not implicated.
yeah. Because he just wants to bring it into reality, you know, like the story that he's telling. Um, because I'm sure this is true. I feel like these aren't details you can just make up, you know, like
No, that's what I mean. Everything comes across so legit, and like once again, you and me don't know. We don't know if it's
yeah,
legit, but it feels
yeah.
legit. This
Like
was the
even
problem the Meek Mill album had. It didn't
the,
feel real.
yeah, yeah. Um, and I think the thing about the bleep is it used to represent here. That's see, that's not something to talk about. You know, like that's like you don't say that word. You know, and how it was supposed to
It
cover
was
up something
censorship.
bad. Yeah, censorship, and it works here as not just because of the redacted, but just because it makes it so harsh. You know, to having a bleep.
Yeah,
Like,
and you know he put it there,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
There's,
the thing. So it's not, it's self censorship, which isn't a which is something like more people need. A lot more people need to self censor themselves. I'm one of them. I say a particular four letter C word a lot outside of this. I actually notice I don't say it a lot while we record, which is probably good. Uh,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
man, but I love this song.
yeah.
It's definitely top three for me.
He he also yeah, definitely I think it's my favorite or my second favorite. He also embraces that sort of side of wrath. This is where wrath is, you know.
I found the line.
What?
Aw man, goddamn, all hell broke loose. You killed my cousin back in '94. Fuck your
Fucking
truce.
cheers.
That's
Oh,
and that's like
it's so
even
simple.
even outside of gangs, that is something that has plagued humanity literature for years.
Yeah. It's like at the basic very basics of what being a human is, you know, of reprisal. Like,
Revenge,
yeah, revenge.
vendetta.
Yes. It he like paints again. His community is such a dark place where like violence and murder can spread up at any time. But back the lines just above that, returning. That was back when I was nine. Joey pack the nine. Pakistan on every porch is fine. We adapt to crime. Pack a van with four guns at a time. With the sliding door. Fuck is up. Fuck you shooting for if you ain't walking up, you fucking punk. Pick up the fucking pump, picking up you suckers. Okay, these words he's using here are amazing too. Like it's so confusing sounding, but it's so great.
Yeah, it if you guys haven't heard this, go listen to it because this flow is excellent.
Yeah, just the way he repeats words, you can't even like catch his rhymes here. It's like hard to like where the fuck is he rhyming? But you know it's happening. Uh, and like how angry he's able to sound here. Like he's such a good actor, you know. Like like he sounds like he's just about to shoot someone in the fucking face as he's rapping this, you know. Um, Uh, yeah, I guess this is the more emotional perspective. That's what this first verse is the emotional perspective, and MC8's verse is sort of like the logical one, you know,
Or the
of
realism.
yeah, realism, yeah, logic, realism. Um, of this is like him, like he doesn't respond, like he hates what's happening, right? But he also someone just killed his brother, and since he's embracing it very in an emotional way, he's or cousin, that he doesn't give a shit. He throws all that like all those emotions away, um, and just like fuck you, I'll kill you, like he just starts going off. Um,
Yeah,
yeah and and this is also contrasted also with the beat too, like how it switches up.
yeah.
uh,
Like I said,
uh,
the switch up in the song, like I said, it threw me off guard, but it fits so well.
yeah. I don't think I like the second beat as much.
No, I
um
didn't either, but it's still good. It's still good in the context of the entire song.
yeah. This is definitely an album for me that is greater than the sum of its parts a lot of the time, even like
His lyrics bring so much. It carries a lot of the weaker elements.
yeah. Like he's like he's one where I'm like listening to him, and even back when his newer albums weren't out, I knew this kid had a future. Like you listen to him and he's got something coming forward.
I'm sold on him. I'm actually gonna go check out more of his stuff. I've
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
DNA and stuff and enjoyed it, but I never had the drive to actually dive into his repertoire. But now I want to. Now it's something
He's
I want to do outside of this.
he's really an artist to dive into, right? Like he's sort of like those old school rappers. For me, he feels like he's going to be in the end like a legend, like like in rap.
Yep,
Um,
yep. I
everyone will
hope so.
remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because fucking DNA, not DNA, his newest album, Damn. Um, it's probably my least favorite, but it's so popular.
I
Um,
can't hear "Damn" without thinking of WWE.
Damn?
Ron Simmons from the Act Farouk. Damn.
No. Oh no, I think I've heard that voice before.
Yeah, Farouk.
I I don't see. You can say this, but I think I've heard it before, but I don't have like the context.
You youngling.
Yes. All right.
Back in my
Uh,
day of 1847, when I was born in India.
One India. um,
To those
yeah.
who don't know, I am a talking mongoose.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about that one.
No, we
Uh,
didn't. That's for another day. I just want people to draw me as a talking mongoose. Uh,
um,
I'm the eighth wonder of the world, people. Just accept it.
have you been watching that a lot? We can't talk about
No,
this.
I'm
This is
addicted to that song. It's bad. I've been showing it to everybody.
yeah. Well, to return for a moment back to that, he feels like like a classic artist. Just when I first listened to this, it feels like he has so much potential. Um, uh,
What I hope when I hear this album is people who want to get inspired today are inspired by him, not Meek Mill or Little Uzi
yeah,
Vert or
he's an artist, really. Like
yeah. And I
there,
I think you and me are actually really judgmental is probably not the right word, but you and me really like people who are artists over people who are doing it as a profession. It seems like, in general,
yeah,
I like the starving artist.
yeah.
I'm not
I
saying he's
definitely
starving or anything, but
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I especially like him because he's making something here that isn't like this album isn't too dense to be like it's something like people listen to the singles, like they'll hear swimming pools or they'll hear Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe and they'll like it, right?
drank.
But yeah, drank. But if you go back and you'll listen to the album, you'll be like amazed, right? Like he's an album artist.
Yeah, this album's great, but we should probably move on to the next song because I think we've actually exhausted talking it. We probably haven't exhausted it, but we went really deep on Mad City.
So there's a lot to talk about on
Yeah,
that
it's
song.
it's an excellent. Well, it's probably top three. Like I said, top
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
And another top three song, Swimming Pools.
Swimming pools. It's a good one. It doesn't flow the best from Mad City, but it works.
Now this bass, that Tony bass at the start of the song that's underneath everything, that's dark wave. That's this impending darkness, this loomingness in the background. It's so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
This is a
notice
good.
that the first time you listened to it? Like that
The,
that yeah, that hum
mm.
almost in the background.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Definitely.
pour up,
Um,
drink.
it's a very catchy song. It's
I'm gonna. It's not good. It's not good when a white guy's singing stuff like that, and it's gonna happen like for the rest of the month.
it's it's funny how this song has a double purpose. Like the first purpose is obviously like it sounds like a drinking song. Like it sounds something you go to like a club and like they have it on.
Like Shots
And
by
yeah, yeah,
Little John. Yeah, Little John.
yeah. Something to do shots to.
But the verse is no. It just doesn't fit.
Yeah, yeah. The song's really about alcohol, like drawing the line between alcohol abuse and like drinking, like
Casually.
yeah, casually drinking, and how as a teenager that can be super confusing, especially if you live in a place like Compton, right, where everybody's like drunks to kill their sorrows, as he says, you know, or to fit in as a teenager, you
Yeah,
know.
like the chorus. N-word,
Yeah.
why you babysitting only 2 or 3 shots? I'ma show you how to turn it up a notch.
It's such a and that's totally a line like a teenager would say, right? Like it's like,
Oh
yeah.
yes, as a white guy who grew up drinking a lot, that's always a thing. You'll always try and one up your friends. Be like, I'm gonna outdrink the shit out of you tonight, and that's bad. In hindsight, that was really dumb. We still do it even to this day. Some days it'll just be like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get blasted.
um, it's funny because this album was sort of it was written from like him like 10 years later. Really, he was I believe he was like 25 or 26 when this was released. So he's sort of like speaking on his previous experience from a place of knowledge. Uh, uh,
There's a part in the song where he's talking back and forth to himself, like with in two different voices.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was inspired by DMX for that because it reminded me so much of the Damien songs.
Mm, what what part? I'm gonna have to find that because I'm sure it's been done other places.
Okay, now open your mind up and listen to me, Kendrick. I'm in your conscience. If you do not hear me, then you will be history, Kendrick. I know that
Oh
you're
yeah.
nauseous right now. Now, in the DMX song, it's literally another. It's well, Damien's literally the devil. Like he's
Yeah.
actually the devil. Like he's all the
Uh,
worst parts of the gang life is Damien. And I think you would
yeah.
actually really like those songs, specifically the Damien songs, even if you're not a big DMX fan.
Yeah. Hmm. I'll think about it. But let's we've been going on a long time. Let's push forward.
Let me just. I'll just go through my notes quickly then, since we're not like this song is really good, but it's not like Mad City where there's so
Yeah.
much to get into. The drank refrain is catchy.
Yeah.
It's another song in my regular rotation. Now, according to the lyrics I have up, this doesn't happen, but at the end of the song, when the drank refrain comes back, it almost sounds like he's saying trank instead. It sounds
Yeah.
different, and I don't know if that's intentional or not.
I was actually on a few parts. I was questioning whether or not some of what do you say, like his pronunciation was intentional. So when he says a swimming pool full of liquor, I'm a diving. It almost sounds like it's a swimming pool full of
I'm
liquor. I'm a
dying.
di Yeah, I'm a dying, you know. Uh, and I felt like I was for sure that's on purpose, and I still feel like it is. Like like how the confusion of dying, diving, the pronunciation is so clever, you know.
A
Uh,
a very similar thing where the lyrics are written out even though the intent is different. There's a song called God AM, God Am
yeah,
by Alice in Chains, but the very much intent of the song and how he sings it is he's saying God damn. during the entire chorus.
Oh, oh yeah.
Well, that song's great. It has one of my favorite lines in the song. Dear God, how have you been then? I'm not fine, fuck pretending. It's like
Uh,
it's a really real lyric. But yeah, do you got anything more on swimming pools beyond the obvious like way he pronounces things? Because I really like the song.
so in the story at this point, uh, Kendrick was beat the shit out of, I think, by the dudes outside of Shireen's like in Shireen's neighborhood. Um, uh, and here Kendrick's friends get together and they like actually like shoot at the guys who beat the shit out of
They
Kendrick.
retaliate.
Yeah, they retaliate. Um, and I love this skit just because it's like the way that like it's almost funny the way the shooting goes down because it's so casual. Like they're just kids, like leaning out of the car, taking a few shots. Uh,
There's no thought into what this might provoke, almost, right?
yeah, they're just doing it, right? As like a just as a reaction almost. Um, and and it's kind of eerie how they're taking shots and killing people here, and how it relates to the headshot drank, sort of like the shots that were like kind of being taken in swimming pool,
Well,
you know?
well, that's why I really thought the end, like when that refrain comes back at the end, and I thought he was saying trank instead, was it's almost at that point it has become the numbing thing. It's not drinking for fun anymore. It's gotten to him where he has been like, I have to do this because I need to zone out,
Yeah,
get faded.
yeah, almost comfortably numb.
As a that's a pretty good line. We there should be a song about that.
About what?
Being
Com,
comfortably
com,
numb. Yeah.
yeah. I like those words I just used.
Yeah,
Make a song
something
around
something like hello, is there anybody in there?
them. Yeah, it's a good idea.
We have so many references to other songs on this one, but that's a good thing.
Yeah,
At least we're on topic for a change.
yeah. All right. Oh, I think the next ones might be doozies or not be doozies. I don't know.
I don't have a super lot written for these.
Yeah,
Sing About Me slash Dying of Thirst.
yeah. It's sort of like two songs that kind of come together as a whole.
I actually
Um,
don't have much written for the last two, to be completely honest with you either.
Re Real and Compton.
Uh, yeah, and I'll tell you why when we get to that.
Okay. Um, these are "Sing About Me" and "I'm Dying of Thirst" are two great songs.
Uh,
I think.
I do have a problem with Sing About Me, and it doesn't
Yeah.
ruin the song for me because I actually do really like this. The beat, the first beat for "Sing About Me," I find really cluttered.
Which like a sort of on purpose sort of cluttering, you mean?
Yeah, I think it's there intentionally, but it still made me dislike the first beat more than the second beat. Like I really like the simplicity of the second beat in the second song compared to the clutteredness of this one.
Actually, I don't think the beat's really all that cluttered to me. It's sort of like it's constant, but it's not. I wouldn't call it cluttered. I think it's something that if you're just like sitting, if you sit down and like not doing anything, just listening, it makes sense. It's just it's like a dunk gun 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 gun
Well,
like just
I guess
constant.
that's the thing. Like unless I'm doing the car test, right? I'm actually just sitting there and listening to it for the most part, so I'm focusing on everything. So maybe
Yeah,
that's why it sounded cluttered to me.
I also recommend listeners if you're listening to the stuff, don't be like playing video games while you're doing it. Like that can work for some of the songs, but I know that there are definitely songs that like try and get you invested. Like
Mad
especially
City.
one in Mad City is one that can sound like it's there to get you invested. So if you're not like sitting there and listening to it, it can be kind of bad, you know?
Mad City wasn't a single, right?
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. That song isn't a single, but I honestly think Mad City is what ties the album together.
Yeah. It's sort of like if this was this is a short film. This is it's almost like the third act, right? Like it's like
Mad
the
City would be the climax.
yeah the climax. Like and and it's sort of like the decision that is actually made on swimming pools, like when they actually go and shoot, that the shooting is actually the climax, but Mad City feels like it, like
It
uh, it's
because
the decision.
well, I was gonna say musical wise, not you know what I mean. After
Yeah,
Mad City, the album kind of slows down for the rest of it.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's
we're coming down off the high of Mad City, and
of the climax. Yeah,
yeah, you just
um,
like saying climax now,
I do. Relating it to a film,
or a book.
or a book, yes, of a story, um, uh, and
I
yeah,
grew to this song does very good use of the electronic vocals. The sing about me half.
yeah. I, I think my favorite part are the character he plays, like on the verses, like how in the first one he's playing one of his homies, like one of his buds, um, uh, and how Kendrick like comforted this guy's brother, um, and just that like the spirit of revenge inside of him, of wrath, um,
My plan's rather vindictive. Everybody's a
yeah.
victim in my eyes. When I ride, it's a murderous rhythm. And outside became pitch black. A demon glued to my back, whispering, "Get him." Damn.
That's so dark. That it's like when I hear that line, sometimes it sends chills up my spine. Like,
Yeah, it has a it goes really weird on the vocals when it says "Get him" too, doesn't it? Or is that another
uh,
verse? Or
um,
it might be a different song. I gotta write better notes.
um, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he just says it, but it's just chilling, you know.
Yeah, well maybe that's it. Maybe I imagined it and it fucked me up.
Yeah, I've totally done that sometimes where I feel like somebody can get across, like especially rappers get across emotion so good. I like imagine that there was something there.
Yeah, certain
Uh,
types of metal do it very well as well.
yeah, yeah,
But the hook of "Promise that you'll sing about me" in that like electronic tone is so sad. It's just
yeah,
heartbreaking, and that's a good use of the electronics on the voice.
yeah. And it's such a self-reflective track, right? Like, um, there's the prostitute on the song, the character he plays.
Mm-hmm.
This is also a reference back to Section 80, where uh, he told a story of a woman who was a prostitute and who well, like one time when she was like satisfying a man, um, like she was murdered, just like straight just like stabbed and murdered, and she references back how this prostitute, you know that's like her murder was something to be concerned about, but that doesn't matter to me. I got to continue and make my money, right?
Yeah,
Um, he's representing both the male and female perspective in Compton, like of crime almost, and you know, there's like a sort of spirit of survival in the song.
well, that's what I mean uh by the uh by the refrain of the "Sing about me."
Yeah,
Because the second verse in particular, when he's from that point of view, it's talking about I don't want to be mentioned. I don't want this. I
yeah,
don't want that. But the refrain, the way they talk, they do. They want to be remembered. They know what
yeah,
they're saying is bullshit, right?
yeah. It's only it's really just a face they're putting on. Like they're saying, I don't want to be
They're
remembered.
doing
I
it to
don't.
cope.
Yeah, yeah. To cope with being, something that's kind of disgusting. Um,
Disgusting isn't the right word.
yeah, I don't know. Like it's something
Doing
that
what you have to do.
yeah. I think doing something you have to do is still disgusting though. Like
Yeah, I know. I'm just disgusting isn't the word
I'm not yeah, I'm not saying that she is. It's just that like what she has to do is.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair enough. I know. I was just trying to think of a better term for it. I know there is one. I just can't think of it. Especially the "I'll never fade away." I'll never fade away.
and then she's fading away as he fades out her vocals in the song. Uh, she's sort of in denial. Uh, Uh, yeah, and I just love that song. It's so sad. I don't think I think of the beat as cluttered as he does, but
As he
uh,
does.
he does. That guy over there.
Hi.
Um, and then there's
Dying of
uh,
thirst.
"Dying of Thirst," another good song.
Another
Uh,
reference to religion.
yeah, this is especially towards it's like the beginning, and then it comes back towards the end is the theme of religion. Uh, Thirst like it brings up like religious like sort of like almost Jesus like imagery, uh, traveling through a desert.
Well, yeah. To those who don't know, Jesus said that no person in his kingdom will die of thirst because they will always have God.
Yeah, yeah.
You will always
Uh,
be accepted if you repent. You'll never die of thirst.
and
Something like that. It's been a while since I read it.
yeah, yeah, and this song's all about repenting, but not only just repenting, because there's a difference between just wanting to not go to hell and being in regret, you know, um, and
Yeah,
understanding that your existence doesn't have to be pain, because repent could be literally to God, but it can also be as a like person, you know.
yeah. You could want to change,
Yeah, yeah,
and
and it's
it, go ahead. Sorry.
well, it's that he constantly like brings up like all these negative habits that seem so nice at first, but the results of them are never good, you know. And so this is sort of repenting and making good on what you've done wrong, you know. It doesn't have to be religious. It could just like I didn't even know that biblical reference here. I know it just felt biblical. Uh,
Well, the perfect line to sum up what you were saying: money, pussy, and greed. What's my next crave? Whatever it is, no, it's my next grave.
yeah, yeah, so good.
And
Uh,
I, because I think, yeah, at least my interpretation of this is he knows that he wants to be a better person, but he knows he can't just get rid of those things he likes. He has to
yeah,
learn to not give in to them.
yeah, yeah. It's it's one day at a time, you know.
Yeah, it's actually realistic change in a person. Because you don't just all of a sudden click your fingers one day and change. You have to work at it.
So one of the things in this album, it's a little bit weirder and more miracle like is the is the sinner's prayer, and it's brought full circle here, you know. At the album, we hear the his teenage friends reciting the sinner's prayer, um, and it comes back here and it explains why. Um, uh, and how you know like their brother died in the shooting that just happened a few tracks ago, uh, and they're just talking about how they're just going to go back and just cause more violence, but then like just like a random old lady just strolls up to them and realizes what they're doing and gives them a talking to.
Which
uh,
is awesome.
yeah, yeah, just like a nice old lady. um,
Uh, the haunting ooze in this of the female
yeah,
really helped tie Dying of Thirst together.
yeah, yeah. It's very beautiful. It's ascendant almost, you know. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree
yeah,
with that. Now we go to my other least favorite track on the album.
real.
I
Yeah.
don't like this song.
I I like this song.
Of course you do.
It's it's probably I won't say it's one of my favorites, but it's like it's near there.
I hate the fucking chorus of this song. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. The really, really, really real. Oh god, it actually made me mad when I heard it the first time. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna come back up, isn't it? And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because she's on
See,
a bunch of the songs. Anna Weiss. And the
yeah.
one song she's actually featured in, I don't like. I'm like, oh.
I I am I think her vocals don't have too much depth. But I actually like it. I like the really, really real because like it feels like it's almost like showering the listener in like on a lot of other songs it would sound like he's just talking about being a gangster. I'm a real guy. I'm real. I keep it real. um but it's not about that. It's about appreciating your family, the people around you, your loved ones, uh and God, if you'd like to. Uh and how the difference between self-love and love, like you can try and love everything, but like as he says, what does it matter if you don't love yourself, you know
Yeah, exactly. And that's really poignant today with so many celebrities committing suicide,
mm.
right?
They're loved by everybody but except for themselves.
Yeah, like it's really hard to get through a day if you can't look yourself in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, a big part of that is learning too. If you don't like who you are, you either A have to change or B, well, no, actually there is no B. It's either learn to like fucking change or
Or
jump off the
descend.
rock.
Yeah. um Yeah, see, I think like even the songs like I might have some criticisms about, they always have a meaning behind them, right?
Well, that's what
Like,
I mean. I don't like the song, but I can appreciate it.
yeah, there's definitely things to be appreciate here, like in a way that's like not true with a lot of what I listen to with Meek Mill. Like, it's like,
Yeah, well, that's just we just didn't like that for the most part, guys.
yeah, yeah, but the difference is that like that
This is
even
good.
with a song, yeah, this is good. And like a song like this, like you might get annoyed by the real, I'm really, really real.
I
Um,
want to hit you with a shoe already.
uh, but I still think there's something important on this track, in my opinion. Like there's enough here that it's worth listening to, even if you don't quite like that.
See, I think my opinion is you can listen to this. If you like it, that's fine. If you're like me, I think you can skip it and you're fine.
It's well, as like if you listen to this thing in one sitting, I feel like this song is essential to really the album. Like
Eh.
it, it's the it's the moment where Kendrick realizes in the story that that like what's important,
And
like even if just for a moment.
and stop trying to be somebody he's not. Stop
Yeah, yeah,
giving in to peer pressure.
yeah. Like 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 you can have a lot of friends, but what does that have to do with you, right? Like that's like you can be very sociable, but what about yourself? Like,
And what's the point to have a lot of friends if they don't like you for who you are, actually are?
yeah, because like I feel like a lot of people can just become their friends, right? Like they can just like act like them and take everything from them. Um,
Yeah.
and we take a lot of things from our environment, and sometimes we can take things from our friends, and it can be things that we really like, and that's our choice. But like,
Well, yeah, because I think everybody, well, not everyone, but everyone has a friend. Like, they have, like, you have one friend and another friend, but they don't like each other. Like, they're not friends, but you're friends with each of them exclusively. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And they just don't understand what you see in that other person.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
like them anyway. Like, you don't usually, like, I've never dropped a friend because one of my other friends didn't like them.
yeah. I don't think so. I I tend to like. I'm just friends with whoever I enjoy being around. That's just how it works.
Like me.
Uh, yeah, yeah, like you. Good boy, Taylor. Um,
Thumbs up.
good boy. Um, I can sometimes drop a friend because they're an asshole. Like I feel like sometimes I'd rather not be associated with a cunt. Like
Radio edit.
radio edit, get a bleep over that. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, and I think that's what Reel's about. I just not fussy of the song.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely got something to say, and I find the voice message that his father and his mother leave for him on his voicemail there. I thought it was super touching. It's very emotional. Yeah.
Yeah, You don't hear a lot of that stuff anymore in music in general, not just rap. Like the whole skit thing. Skits the word to use because that's what it is.
It's kind of like a skit, but
Well,
it's
no,
super
no.
important.
Well, yeah. I think the problem with skit is it's associated with comedy
Yeah.
nowadays, but that's not. It just means like it's like an act on the album, right?
Uh, it's a yeah, yeah. I guess that makes sense. I mean, um, well, I don't think a skit's the right word. I think that's the right word in hip hop. Like when people say it's a skit, it's like a little interlude. But that's like a skit is a comedy
Well, let's call
thing.
it a scene then.
Um, I should yeah, it's like a little scene, you know, and that stands beside um
The music.
the actual yeah the music because it's not musical. It has a flow to it. It's definitely not droning, and it's one of the most effective uses of like scenes I've seen in like a lot of records. You know,
Agreed. I think it actually really ties the album together.
yeah,
It actually, I think without the skits, following the story would be a lot harder.
yeah. Um, they're necessary, and in a way, what they there isn't when you say a story, there isn't like it isn't constantly him telling us what's happening next in the story. It's more like you get the story by the end of the album, but he just fills up like all the details and emotions behind certain parts, you know,
Yeah,
and decisions.
like George R. R. Martin.
I think George R. R. Martin, yeah. Um, there's like not like a ton of things actually happening as he's rapping, but he's talking about other things, you know, that really create make you understand a very actually like the situation that happens. The story of this album probably takes place in like
Years.
yeah years, but technically the only events that we hear sort of like that is supposed to be happening as the album's happening are
The girl.
yeah, it's just like it's really just well, it's really just like three. That's like an introduction, right? That's like an intro to the story. There, it's like here's her.
It's a
It's that. It's a prologue, you know.
it's our plot
Uh,
moving point because
yeah,
without her, none of the other events occur.
yeah. And there's only like two events really.
The shooting
Like the shooting.
and him getting beat up,
Well, it's him. Yeah, him getting beat up, and then the shooting, and that's it. Um.
and then old
Uh.
lady saying, "Don't fucking
Yeah.
do that."
Yeah. And there's really the act. The okay. This is perfect. The first act is him getting beat up. The second act is the shooting, and the third is the old lady, right?
Yeah, the
Like,
third act is the withdrawal, the looking at yourself and realizing
yeah,
you don't want to do it. Yeah.
yeah. It's the it's the inciting incident, uh, the action, like sort of like the action of it, and then the come down, you know, the resolution.
It's
Um,
amazing to me that we can get this much out of an album, and our best idea for a pitch to Netflix was My Roommate Cthulhu.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could actually come up with something. I don't think. I think people can try a lot more than they think they can.
Like
Uh,
Jason Voorhees being Jesus.
yeah, exactly. That'd be awesome. It should be already made. We're just lazy fucks. Uh,
Well, yeah, we're not millionaires.
yeah,
I would
yeah.
fund that movie. Fuck.
And to wrap up this short film, Compton. How do you,
Who's the guest star in this?
Dre,
Who?
Dr. Dre.
Oh shit, man, I forgot about Dre.
Dre.
Uh,
This I I also love that Dr. Dre is featured on the track that's sort of like this is the song I put this in my notes that plays as the credits roll.
yeah, and I'm also very sad you didn't like pop for my joke.
What was did I miss it?
I asked you who Dre was. You said Dr. Dre, and I said, "Oh man, I forgot about Dre."
Oh! It's a reference to like his album or whatever. Um,
You're the worst.
I don't think I didn't listen to that one. Um, uh, yeah, this song is the song that plays over the credits. It's like a it's totally like him like being oh shit Compton. like he still loves the place he comes from, even though it's fucked up.
Yeah, well, lots of people are like that. You'll love your
Yeah,
home no matter how bad it actually is, right?
yeah,
And I will say I'm not a big fan of the beat to this song,
yeah, yeah.
but
Me
the
too.
lyrics fucking carry it.
Yeah, just the feeling of the song, really, to me. Like the beat can be kind of whatever. It's kind of cool, but it's really the feeling in the lyrics, you know. Um, uh,
Agreed. And it's actually a really nice tie-in to Trey's first big hit,
oh yeah, well, fucking
straight out of Compton,
straight out of Compton, yeah,
NWA.
NWA. Um, it's
I still can't believe Flavor Flav was in NWA.
he wasn't, was he?
Pretty sure he was.
I don't think so. He was in Public Enemy.
Oh yes, I mix them up sometimes. I'm old, guys.
Um, yeah. And that's the album.
Wait,
The
what
the
the?
the credits rolling track, Compton.
Wait, what the fuck? Ice Cube wasn't in NWA.
He was.
Okay, 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 okay. I was worried for a second. I was like, please tell me it fucking Ice Cube was in there, because I'm gonna feel like super weird if he wasn't.
You didn't listen to the bonuses, right?
No, I did not.
Um, for anybody who's interested, maybe in the bonuses, two good songs on the bonuses: "The Recipe" and "Now or Never." I think you've listened to "Now or Never" before, right, Taylor?
I think
I,
you showed it to me
I
before. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I do remember enjoying whatever you showed me of Kendrick before. So,
yeah, it's Mary J. Blige, and she's like it's pretty huge for like a like this is like his this is a debut album, you know.
like
Um,
on a major label.
yeah, yeah, and it's kind of crazy to have like Dre on it, really. And he's on the last track. I love that. Like, um,
Yeah, and since we've already gone over our overview and stuff before, let's get right into star ratings and pick
yeah.
our next album. Do you want to go first on star ratings, or should I?
Uh, you go first.
I think this album is super good, solid. There's a few things I disliked on it, but for the most part, I really enjoyed it. This is my first 4-star album.
Okay. Um, that's solid. I'll say my star rating. Yeah, this definitely my highest rating. I don't think I've given a three. I don't think I've given a three yet.
No,
It's all been pretty bad. Uh,
except this past.
so yeah, okay. So I think out of stars, back when this came out, I liked it because like his next album hadn't come out, but with the context of what's further, which I urge everybody to listen to, but um, this is a 4.5.
Oh,
It's it's- this is one definitely one of my favorite hip hop albums. It's great, and I think it's very important, especially to Kendrick Lamar's career. Uh, uh,
I will also
really,
say that makes this our first pew, 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 8.5-star album, boys and girls.
8.5 stars out of five. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
crazy. We're crazy around these parts.
We them crazy boys.
Do you have the
Uh,
Billboard 200 brought up?
let me bring it up.
Also,
Uh,
I feel vindicated about my
yes.
fucking album score for Neck Deep because they're not even in the top 200 anymore.
Okay. Um, yeah. Yeah. They're gone.
Boo Earns.
I am scared about this week.
Oh, there's a lot of shit in the top 20 this week.
I am scared. And
If you roll a
if
4, I'm gonna hit you.
but if we roll Kendrick Lamar, I'm going to shit myself.
I hope
Um,
we.
he's it. What?
I was gonna say I hope we don't, just for the sake of doing two Kendrick Lamar albums back to back.
And
But
I don't. I think we could probably um and if we do, I think it would probably be safe to re-roll just because I want you to experience the albums in order. I want everybody to. The way to listen to Kendrick Lamar's music is to start with this album or Section 80 if you feel like it. And then move on to Pimp a Butterfly, and then damn, you should listen to them in order. Um, uh,
I will say, out of the top 20, there's only two bands on
what
here.
the fuck?
Did you roll a fucking 4?
Yes.
We're not doing Uzi Vert. I'm fucking sorry. That's not happening.
That we'd be forced into listening to XO Tour Life again. I think that's on there.
Of fucking course it is. No. I veto the shit out of Little Uzi Vert. Okay, roll the dice 3 fucking times.
I'm gonna roll it again. 14.
What the fuck is 14?
Project Baby 2 by Kodak Black. Oh my god.
I have no idea who that is. You have
I've
a veto. You can veto. Because I think you told me you'd veto that last time.
yeah, I'm vetoing Kodak Black. No thank you. I'm sorry.
Before you roll one more time, my hope is for before you because so I'll jinx it so I know it won't happen is 20 or 2.
okay. We'll see. Whoa. We rolled a 1.
Thomas Rhett life changes. I have no fucking idea who Thomas Rhett is.
Oh, I have a feeling in my bones. This is like
Pop
uh,
country. It feels pop
yeah,
country. He looks pop country.
it's the genre is country pop. Oh no.
So to everyone who enjoyed the good vibes this week, that's probably gonna go away next week.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Why the hell
Oh,
couldn't you be a fan of the National? Then we could have just picked it.
uh, I don't know. Holy shit. Okay. So next week,
Life
life
changes.
change Thomas Rhett.
Yeah,
Uh,
and also everyone go support the National. If any of you are unfamiliar with who they are outside of the scene. They're probably most well known for doing the cover of "The Reigns of Castamere" in an episode of Game of Thrones at the end. That low bassy voice that just sings it. That's the National.
yeah. All right. So
To
that's
be fair, it was slim fucking pickings in the top 20 this week.
yeah. The only thing I'd want to listen to here. I hear that that SZA album's pretty good. Uh,
Also, Neil Young is there.
uh, that's it. That's literally one album that I think I'd want to listen to.
Mine was the National and um,
I'd
Neil
I'd
Young.
give I'd give Neil Young a chance.
Dude, rockin' in the free world.
All right.
But anyway, before this episode is the longest ever, and that's fucking saying something, especially since we never went off topic. Uh, uh,
It's
say bye, Sean.
bye bye. Good night.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and as always, goodbye and good night. I fucked up the pronunciation of Mephistopheles at the start of this. It's
Yes, you did.
it's Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles, thank you. And
Uh,
that's the perfect time to fucking end it.
Mephistopheles.
Shut the fuck up.
Mephist.